one of the deadliest attacks on Russian forces since their invasion of Ukraine. The Kremlin says 63 of its servicemen have been killed after a missile attack on a Russian base in the Donetsk region. It happened on New Year's Eve. However, the Ukrainian armed forces had earlier claimed as many as 400 Russians had died in the town of Makiivka. Our correspondent Hugo Beshega has the very latest from the capital, Kyiv.
In a town in eastern Ukraine, rubble and many questions. This used to be a school, apparently turned into a base for Russian soldiers. At around midnight on New Year's Eve, Ukraine struck. How many were killed remains unclear. In Moscow, the army claimed the attack was carried out with rockets supplied by the Americans. But there was also a rare admission of casualties.
As a result of the strike by 4 rockets with high explosive warheads against the temporary deployment point, 63 Russian servicemen were killed.
In Russia, military bloggers were furious. They accused the army of failing to hide its troops and of housing them near ammunition stores. One report said the use of mobile phones by soldiers allowed the building to be located. And here in Kyiv, there were more conflicting reports.
First, the military claimed that 400 Russian troops had been killed. But now it says the number is still being investigated. Eastern Ukraine has seen some of the fiercest battles in recent weeks. The latest Ukrainian attack could be one of the deadliest on Russian forces since the start of the war.
Hugo, this is clearly a devastating attack. Just sum up the significance of this assault.
Well, Clive, I think it's quite significant, first because of the extent of the losses. Moscow decided that it couldn't stay silent. It had to acknowledge this attack. But I think it's also significant because it could suggest a new strategy by the Ukrainians. Up until now, Ukraine has been using these long-range rockets supplied by the Americans to target Russia's military logistics and supply lines. But in recent weeks, they've been attacking bases and troop concentrations. Now, since the Ukrainians recaptured Kherson in mid-November, the front lines haven't really changed. The Ukrainians have been saying that they're waiting weather conditions to improve to resume their operations to take back territory that's now under occupation. So I think these latest attacks could give us a suggestion of where this counteroffensive is likely to go next.
Okay, Hugo, thank you. Hugo Beshega there live in Kyiv.